pleasure to meet y'all at last. And I'm back here with Why Is That? The Q&A session that's not like any other. You'd have to start your question with why is that, and then give me the rest of your question if you wanted to submit your question to my channel or Twitter, and you'd probably end up getting yourself a shout out. This way people can subscribe to your channel, like your videos, and really thank you for doing such a great job giving me a proper question, and ended up getting a shout out here. Anyhow though, today's question comes from another YouTube commenter who commented on another one of my videos, and it wasn't the same one as those 3 other commenters were on another episode I made. His comment said, why is that you maintain a positive influence on your YouTube channel, your Twitter, or otherwise? Well, this is because, well, all those people out there who want to act negative, who really want to act salty and the like, they really just have no idea what they're doing. There's a lot more to this though than just acting up on the internet. Cyberbullying and the like, really putting out threats, hacking, and any of those, they're really starting to affect our nation in any way, shape, or form. Hackers and cyberbullies are just really taking forth the charge that they need to really overcome somebody's fear and overcome somebody's emotions, causing them, the victims they're known as, to really break down and to eventually, I won't even try to rub it in because it's been such an awful epidemic that we've had for at least 10 years now, and it's really been such a huge disaster. We've had hackers, we've had cyberbullies, we've had a lot of threats, we've had spammers, we've had many of the which that really just affect us in any way, shape, or form. But anyhow though, in relation to myself though, with Twitter or YouTube or any other website that I've been on, including Vine and others, I've had a positive influence maintained on any of those regardless of anything that I do. Regardless of the activity I go on, regardless of any of the other peer pressure that takes in, and regardless of any of the other bits and pieces that I tend to put together anytime, anywhere. I've always kept myself in a calm emotion, and I've always kept myself with emotions that are not at all negative, because otherwise it could lead to trouble in the future. It could lead to a bad reputation, it could lead to an awful record of mine, of which I no longer have a record, and of which permanent records aren't real, unlike what some other people might think. The way I maintain positive influence on any of my accounts would be the fact that at first I inspire others into doing what they like to do, and I also do what I can to help them out in case they want to talk to me or any other type of emotional support of which that I would tend to really help them out on. However though, this is the really big catch around here, because how I managed to get this far in the first place on either my Twitter or YouTube, getting as much subscribers and followers as I can. This would be the reason as to which many people are seeing to like me on anything out there on the internet, regardless of any positive influence that I put forth. And the reason being is because, believe it or not, there are so many people out there who want to just vent their rage on the internet, on any website that they encounter. It doesn't matter if it's even one of the more rare or less known websites, which there's so many of them that I could not really point them out too well. But other than that though, I feel like I'm really making a big connection as to what the big picture looks like in today's society, on the internet, regardless of any other big impacts on anyone's society that just is so awful that we cannot necessarily control it all too well. It would have gotten out of control, but thankfully we got ourselves supporters out there on YouTube or Twitter or any other website that ever existed. We've got support from them, and we've got help from them to maintain a positive impact on our internet status. And we've also gotten them to really take charge. We've also gotten them to just eliminate any of the bad influences or any of the negative impacts on others. And they've really done a great job doing it. But with many, however, they just don't really seem to stop. And if you haven't already noticed, with age-restricted videos, then, well, you're pretty much not in luck for anybody who's under 18 watching any of my videos. Scratch that, for anybody else's videos, because none of mine have been age-restricted thus far. And the reason being is because I've maintained a positive influence at all costs. Didn't matter what kind of activity I was engaging myself in, did not matter what kind of impact I was bringing upon others. I just maintained to keep myself as positive as possible. Otherwise, this would have been a really big disaster up forth for my channel or my Twitter or anything else that would have ever been affected by anybody, regardless of whatever activity I've done so far. And I know for sure that there are certainly much bigger bits and pieces that I would have to look out for in case there are going to be much bigger impacts in the future or even any other issues that take place, other than the fact that, well, YouTube age-restricts videos automatically nowadays, and Twitter automatically suspends and removes accounts that have owners that are below the age of 13 years old. And this was just established this May, though. The part of which they eliminate accounts that have owners that are below 13 years old. However, I'm not below 13 years old, so I'm more than good to go. However, there's lots of those out there nowadays that are pretty much just getting screwed out there. Not just because of age restrictions or any account elimination or anything else that otherwise take place at any certain place in time, or which they don't warn you that they're about to do it. But anyhow, since none of those have happened to me at any given point in time, of which, well, my Twitter account has been affected so much over the last 12 years. And there's an episode I made on Why Is That in the description box below. I have a link to that episode, so this way you can check it out and you can see for yourself just how well my Twitter had handled 12 whole years of activity. But I think it's just about enough of that, because I've gotten a lot more to this than just, well, maintaining positive influences on any portion of the internet, regardless of whatever website that I use. I've also kept myself with good photographs, good videos, good tweets. Any of my tweets, however, feature no repulsive or just offensive language in any case. In general, there's really no language of which that relates to anything that's considered offensive or sexual or obscene or shrewd or lewd or any of the type. Because this is just not the case for anybody like me. I really do not want to go that way, and I really do not want to have myself a really big disaster on my hands in which it would earn myself a bad reputation, and this would cause others to laugh at me, turn myself into a laughing stock, really, because my reputation's been ruined. For anybody else out there who does happen to do that stuff and they happen to really bring up forth the laughter from others, well then, good luck with that. Because I cannot do anything out there once a huge embarrassment has occurred, humiliation has taken over. There's really nothing I can do to just stop the laughter out there. But what I could encourage others to do, though, is that they wanted to stop the laughter, they just have to rise up and just charge like a bull straight on towards anybody who just starts laughing at them, all because of one embarrassing little hot mess that took place in the past or any other place in time. Because that was how I managed to get up and just keep walking forward rather than going back to where I was and just, well, lying there and playing dead. Because it's just not how I do things. I get myself up and I get myself encouraged, I get myself inspired, and I've gotten myself up to this point in time in which I kept on working on my YouTube channel and Twitter to earn everything that I have earned thus far. A huge amount of followers, and well, let's just say my YouTube channel is not handling so well. But that probably doesn't matter right about now, because there's probably a lot of other things out there that I might need to worry about happening to my YouTube channel. Community guidelines, copyright status, any of which that I would not want to come into contact with based on, well, getting strikes from them. Community guideline strikes, copyright strikes from anything at all would definitely not be something that I would enjoy. That would ruin my reputation as a good YouTuber out there and a good Twitter user out there, even though they don't really possess any legal authority to copyright strike others or to do any of that stuff, because they do not get paid through advertisements, unlike what YouTube does. YouTube does use the monetization to pay their creators out there, and I'm hoping I end up becoming one of those guys, because I'm looking forward to making myself a little extra cash. But there's also comes this point in which that I did not just come here to make myself extra money. But aside from that point in time, which I'll probably save up that topic for later, why I would want to maintain myself a positive influence or any type of good behavior out there on the internet is also because, well, with the activity of a lot of hackers and other cyberbullies and other people out there who just really suck at doing their stuff on the internet, and they have no idea what they're doing, and they're just really turning people into victims of their wrath, of which I really would want to stand up and help defend these guys from any of those. You know, I want to call them people and call them monsters. How about that? They call them anything but people, because all they would do would be a cyberbully or any other kind of just weird, unbelievable stuff out there that just really affects one's mind or even one's reputation out there, and just, I wish it would affect them for a while. But so far, I've really had nothing affect me. My Twitter account is 12 years old, my YouTube channel is 10 years old, and yet I really don't have much out there that I could worry. Because as of today's standards, right here in October 2nd of 2018, is really just a big point in time of which that I really would want to bring forth the good times for anybody out there that are really enjoying my videos, and they're also enjoying my Twitter account being such a huge amount of followers right now. I mean, I could not have felt any better than I originally have. But of which, give it some time, of which I could feel even more better with even more followers and subscribers to my channel. In any case though, I really feel that there's going to be a lot more to come in the future. But right now, here in the present, we got ourselves some stuff that needs to be taken care of right away, including eliminating the hackers, anybody who's creating bad influences on Twitter or YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Vine, any of those, which Vine might have to be taken out from the list of that just or because Vine doesn't exist anymore. But any other social media in general, we got ourselves a really big epidemic going on with these monsters of people out there. And anyhow though, that's pretty much enough that I got to talk about based on positive influences on the internet. Of me, that is. And if you want to see more go down in Why's That, I would encourage you to first submit your question to my YouTube channel in the form of a comment or a private message, even if you're lucky, or even a tweet to my Twitter account, starting with the words, "Why's that?" This way you can get yourself a shout out because your question fits the requirements as to getting a shout out based on putting a screenshot down here towards the bottom of the screen that will feature your username on the Twitter or YouTube, and you'll end up getting a shout out then. And I would also encourage you to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, comment on my videos, follow me on social media, especially Twitter, and stay on the Hollywood side, so this way you don't end up missing out on any other stuff that I do in any given point in time on my YouTube channel.